We get to buy the R5. Add to cart. Canon RF 15 to 35mm. Yes, please.
This is against my will.
Maybe we shouldn't get it then.
No, I think we should get it.
3, 2, 1. What have we done? What have I done?
Ta-da! We've dropped a couple of hints as to our recent purchases.
We may have alluded, yes.
And then we decided to use our brand new camera, a camera notorious for having issues. Should we buy some ice packs?
Then it goes on to my eye, yeah. Well, they're here. We've bought the R5 against all warnings.
The situation is that we have wanted a mirrorless Canon since we started this filmmaking game. And the EOS R came out and we were so disappointed.
But then the R5 announcement came and
we were shook. The day came when we all witnessed that IBIS wobble and the overheating, and it was just quite frankly the cherry on top of the cake that is 2020. Bad, don't buy it, it's not worth it, the Sony a7S III is better.
And we bought it. Now, you may be asking why we bought it, and
we're asking ourselves that question every day. Now, we love specs, but we are dying to see how this camera holds up in real filmmaking and photography situations.
So we've come up with a little project.
We have 14 days to return this camera.
Now, we won't bore you with 14 days, but what we will do is 5 consecutive days putting it through its paces in real life photography and videography scenarios, including a client shoot.
We pushed the Mavic Mini to its limits and now we're gonna do it with the R5, but actually a little bit more seriously. Speed.
In this video, we're not going to be looking into the advantages and disadvantages of the R5. It's not going to be like a review of the camera.
Because we don't know ourselves yet. We're actually going to take you along with us to find out if this camera is worth it.
Because that 1.1 firmware has fixed everything, right? Let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it gets on. Good morning. We're just about to head to the city to a 6 studio location to see how the R5 handles some studio photography. Now, this studio is honestly insane. It's got a number of different areas with like different themes, props. It has Godox lights included. We're going to take our apertures at 120D just in case, but should be really, really good. We're going to be doing a fashion Black Friday shoot. So first time using the R5 and this RF 1535. Filth. Let's see how it does. Let's go. Welcome to the studio.
We'll see what we can do. I am about to film some B-roll for our video that's coming up, probably already up now, and the thumbnail as well with the R5 no less. Ooh. And we are going to test out some tasty features, including C-Log, which I've never tried before. Don't have a CF Express card, which is really unfortunate because that means we can't test out like the 8K, 4K 120. So we're just gonna give 4K 60 a whirl. And then that CF Express card will be arriving tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, it looks sick on the back of the camera and it feels like such an upgrade after only having cropped 4K on the 1DX. So like 4K 60, even without the 120 and 8K, it's sick.
Can you report back?
So I'm not actually going to use any of this footage. Turns out it was massively underexposed. My fault. I didn't know, but with C-Log you're supposed to overexpose by like a couple of stops. So the footage is noisy as hell and it does not look good. But I mean, mainly the main concern is that the motion looks a bit weird. I don't know whether it's the IBIS, whether it's the digitally enhanced stabilization or the lens. I don't know, but it looks a bit weird, so we need to look into that, test it a bit more when we've got the CF Express card, see what happens in 120. Photos look dope though. So far, the R5 is killing it as a photo camera. Hello.
Oh, hello there. We're here to shoot a luxury bed and breakfast. We're doing an interior shoot as well as capturing some marketing materials. And this is going to be the big one in terms of R5 tests. We're bringing it along on a client shoot. It's going to be a full and intense day of recording. So reliability is going to be extremely, extremely important. But the majority of the shots are going to be 4K 24 and on a gimbal. But there will be a few shots handheld. We will also get to test a plethora of different settings. We want to try the 8K.
Using 8K RAW for the first time.
Oh, that'll do before it overheats. That will do. We've got like 15 seconds. That's it. Not risking anymore.
We're never touching 8K again.
The 120 FPS. Possibly the 4K HQ, we'll see. Let's get to it.
So boss, long day.
Long day indeed, yeah. I think it went well. It was enjoyable to use for the most part. It was really, really good. Really enjoyed the autofocus tracking. And yeah, we did get the dreaded overheating warning once, but it's completely manageable when it's just sort of an on-set production like that. We just switched it to 4K 24 and gave it a break, so that was fine. We'll see how the footage turns out, I guess.
We'll also see how this wobble handles because it's pretty shaky right now and I'm at about 17 mil.
Oh, I know exactly how that wobble's getting go.
Reviewing the footage from today, we are absolutely over the moon with everything that R5 did whilst on the gimbal. It didn't overheat, the quality, the dynamic range, everything. But, and it's a big but, using handheld, not so much.
The weird motion and stabilization twitches were more noticeable than ever. We've done some research into it, and so far it seems that there are big discrepancies from body to body, and not every user is experiencing the same thing. And one of the big reasons we wanted to move to mirrorless is the IBIS, because of our handheld run and gun style of filmmaking, and if the handheld footage is unreliable, that's just not going to cut it for us.
It's day 4 and we're doing some talking head interview style stuff for our YouTube. The uncropped 4K and the 1535 lens is a real game changer for this. The log works really well, it's a pleasure to grade. We've had some audio issues with the manual levels not displaying correctly.
Testing some
Two
audio,
people speaking at the same time,
at the
testing,
same
yeah.
time. Yeah!
Yeah!
That's
not topping
even
out.
topping out.
The audio levels were not displaying correctly on this camera and we ended up setting it too high and we're continually experiencing audio clipping. We're not sure what the deal is with this. It could even be a problem with our AUX extension. We're still running some tests.
4K 24 FPS, we filmed for about an hour, everything bob on. Then we switched to 4K 120 for some tasty B-roll, and about 3 minutes in we experienced our first overheating issue. It feels like we've reached an R5 milestone. So even though it doesn't overheat in 4K 24, it does affect performance depending on what you want to film immediately afterwards. Whilst this did hinder the process a little, it wasn't the end of the world for this purpose.
What are you doing?
I'm just editing some photos from today. And I'm just editing some shots from today. I was photographing 2 football games, one in the morning, one in the evening, and gave it a good run in terms of the 7200 actually. I was a bit anxious. Yes, thank you. I was a bit anxious actually with using the adapter, the EF adapter. Yeah, yes, thank you. Not had the best experience with adapters. Like the GH5 one, you've got no autofocus. I mean, not that you do anyway with the GH5, but anyway, it's not something I was looking forward to. And actually, it turns out it's been really, really smooth. It's just like using a native RF lens. It was flawless, really. Just with regards to the photos, it's a whole different beast. I didn't think there was much of an upgrade there to be had from like the 5D Mark IV, which I've been using for years, and this is just another level. Being able to crop in from that 45 megapixel, especially for sport, is insane. And the low light performance as well. Killing it. Isolating photo alone, this camera is bob on.
What about video though, fam?
Absolute. Ready? So it's fair to say that the last 5 days have been an absolute whirlwind of mixed emotions.
Yeah, it's been a ride. It's a real difficult one because it seems to be so amazing in some areas.
It seems that the image quality in photography and video is incredible.
It's Canon.
Yeah.
It's everything that people love about Canon.
But the additional features and the features that we were actually really excited for have been letting us down.
Like, we don't have as big of a problem with it overheating as of yet. Like, we've obviously experienced it, but it hasn't been
a huge deal, yeah.
We've got 4K 120, like, we can accept that it's going to overheat if we're using it for a long period of time. That's fine. But the main issue for us was the handheld motion. Like, it's just not acceptable, and currently I'm talking with Canon, asking them whether ours is even broken.
And we've tried a variety of options. We've tried with the stabilizer, without, different lenses, all sorts, and no matter what we do, it seems to be there to some extent.
And the IBIS wobble, for us, weirdly, seemed to get worse with the latest firmware update of the 15-35 lens, which is super interesting.
So,
but again, the issue is when you Google that, everyone is talking about how revolutionary the R5 IBIS is.
So we are starting to think that ours is faulty. I don't know.
Just quite frankly, whatever it is, it should not happen with this price, camera and lens. I think the biggest problem with the R5 is just that there is no definitive answer. Whether or not we need a brand new £5,000 camera lens combo for photography, I don't know. And that seems to be its biggest strength, which was not what we were buying into or thought that we were buying into.
The jury's still out, because while there are problems, there are also moments where we are screaming. So it really is, like Sal said, a mixed bag.
I didn't say that.
Well, it's a mixed bag.
To give you a little more information than we just don't know, next video we are going to give you a more in-depth look at the things you should think about before buying this camera. It's gonna be more informative, more of a review. Some things we would have liked to have known a little bit more before buying.
Camera's no good.
It is though.
Well, the R5 has well and truly exhausted us emotionally with this absolute roller coaster of emotions. So we will see you in the next video, but in the meantime, don't forget to like this one and subscribe to our channel. We'd love for you to stick around.
We also have a sick giveaway running right about now to celebrate our 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to be in with the chance of winning some dope gear, including a Xiaomi phone,
Top-notch phone, that.
You can find a link in the description. I'll leave one to the giveaway for you, or you can go check out our last vid, which we'll link everywhere as usual.
Good luck, and
we'll see you in the next one.